Yeah. How would you compare and contrast things like Terraria to Minecraft, seeing as that has more content?
Well, I would say for me, Terraria's got an end goal.
Yes.
You know, you can go through it, you can collect all of the items that are in the game, and kill all the different bosses, and you're done. Like, the map is finished. I think the thing with Minecraft is, you can do those things, but you can infinitely go on, and like your own personal creativity comes into it with Minecraft, where you're building things. You envision a base with certain things in your base, and you're not really done until you've done all that. And even then,
it's entirely pointless because you know, what's the point of having that big base apart from that going? Minecraft's one of those games where form doesn't follow function. Function entirely follows form because you're like, oh, I want to build this really cool thing, and then I want to. So you go on, you can make, you basically, you've got all the wood you want, you've got all the stone you want, you've got all the ores you need, and you're like, well, I'm going to use them now to build something. What's the purpose of the game? It's like, Terraria is so fun, but it doesn't grip me the way that Minecraft does, and I don't think that's just the absence of the third dimension, as it were. I think it's because I get conflicted. I sometimes get really annoyed at Minecraft because I'm annoyed that Mojang don't have this end vision for the game like Terraria does. Like they clearly had a massive game design document there, and they filled everything in, and they're like, yes, we have a completed product, and updates are cool and everything.
done, finished updating.
Minecraft doesn't. It's very organic, and they come up with ideas on the spot, and there's no. I mean, the ending of Minecraft is a joke. Like, what is that even about? And I think that actually, paradoxically, is really integral to its success. Like, because Terraria in many ways is much more entertaining, but it's much less gripping because of the ability to do more with less in Minecraft, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Although I still would like a lot more of those sorts of items and stuff, because, especially if you were able to edit them, because from my perspective, if you can put in some really cool stuff from an adventure map point of view, I don't know, I think Minecraft has a real possibility to user-created content is really going to keep driving Minecraft forward, and keep earning Mojang money, and keep selling copies.
I was going to say that's like Terraria's downfall. It's not their downfall, is it really? It's just like they've not got like a modding API for Terraria. You can't mod it.
They didn't embrace the modding community at all.
Yeah, not at all, no. And of course they stopped updating it, and that was it. So it's like, oh, Terraria's done. So once you played it, you've played it. Have they?
Yeah, they suddenly started updating again, even though
it wasn't there. Maybe they've realised.
I don't think that's the main guy updating it though. I think it's like whoever has.
Yeah, because the other two are working on the
star thingy.
Well, I never felt.
I think that was the same team.
I never felt Terraria was trying to be Minecraft or anything like that. When I got into Terraria, it was like, this isn't Minecraft, even though everybody was saying it's Minecraft.
Well, Minecraft
it's just got elements
genre.
of it. Yeah, it's like
really the genre.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah.
Any more questions?
Any more questions? Yeah.
Right there. If you could have one thing changed in the game and one thing added, what would it be for each of you?
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I have to think about this one.
Yeah. One thing changed and one thing added. I would change hoppers to pipes because I don't get why they're weirdly funnily. It's almost as if they were like, I don't really want to do what the other mods did, but yeah, we'll do something that doesn't really make sense. Sorry, no, that's not what I changed. I changed fucking enchantments. I don't even get the design. I know not just like, oh, I want it to be random. Why? Like, I'll give it like this really weird language that doesn't correlate to the enchantment. They've made a few updates. The fact that, okay, it's now level 30 as opposed to level 50, that's a max. You still have to grind for that, really, a little bit. You have to have an experienced grinder. And I would make it less random. I wouldn't make it like totally easy if possible, and maybe add an element of randomness to it, but at least if you knew roughly what enchant you were going for or something.
It'd be pretty cool if you could surround the table with things that would influence the enchantment.
Yeah, like skeleton heads or stuff like that. And one thing I would add the ability to, this is a pipe dream of mine, but I would have the ability to package a map together with sound files and lots of sort of stuff, and really embrace so you don't just download a texture pack, you download a custom world, and it has sound files, maps, texture pack along with it, so you can basically play somebody's level. I would go down a little. I would add a sort of third mode to it, which is they've added adventure. It's called adventure mode, isn't it? Where you can't break blocks and stuff. I would sort of add that, but add functionality to that, the ability to download maps and sounds and stuff, because I really, really, really do think that it's got great potential as a level editor. I really, really do.
Just a game maker.
A game maker. That's kind of what I mean. Yeah, a game maker. Yeah.
I'd add, like, just to elaborate a bit more on that, I'd add like you know, a voting system where if somebody creates a really good adventure map or something like that, you can actually download it straight in the game. You know, and if they had a system on their website where people could say, oh yeah, I endorse this. This was really good, and you know, like you got your top 5 maps that were created or something like that. That'd be awesome. Instead of having to go searching all over the different places, it's all just right there. And I'd take out creeper damage. Damn creepers!
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
I switched it off on our server and I got shouted at. Still had creepers, but no damage. It was
Funny as hell.
Something I'd change is the way you sprint. I'm sure all of us have trouble sprinting for some reason.
When does that jerky thing? It's so annoying.
Just having to double
Even just managing to at all.
having to stop walking to start running.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's what?
What would you add?
I'm still thinking.
Meat block.
Meat blocks.
Yeah.
Just more blocks in general, I think, to build with.
I'd like to see more building blocks, more diverse ones.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Would you like to see the smaller blocks, like mini blocks and stuff? Because I know Nosh in particular
totally.
hates half slabs. Like,
yeah.
It's only because he had so much.
Well, we're talking about mods
You
now.
can't get them right.
That's mods, isn't it? Really, you get the mini blocks mod.
No, but would you add that to Minecraft?
Yeah, I'd
if
add
you had
that-
the
I'd add
choice?
that.
I'm not sure I would.
I would.
I would change the way the MBT thing's been implemented. I would maybe make a totally new system, because as all the amazing things you can do with it, it's so hacky. It's like flying creepers are just basically creepers have been put on the back of bats, and the bats are made invisible. You know? Like, it's genius and really like, what the hell's going on?
I disagree. I think that's absolutely integral to why it's so fun to do it. Because if you made it easy, if you made it easy, or even if not even easy, if you made it like, it's like you were talking about how it's not 3D modeling isn't easy. So if you could go into the code, as it were, and say, right, okay, let's give creepers the bat flying behavior.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, it would make it easier, but it would make it less accessible.
As opposed to like spawn all the code for spawning a bat.
You don't need the code for that.
Well, that's the MBT. You have to tell it where to spawn, how often to spawn,
It's not really
what
code.
to spawn, who's on its back, what special enchant it has. You have to find the enchantment number.
It's not really code, though, is it? You know?
Well, what's it then?
Well, yeah, it is.
But yeah, maybe that's just my game developer head talking. But to me, it's just like, why? You know, it's like we played that awesome
Hypixel.
Hypixel.
We played Hypixel. Hypixel maps are awesome.
He's incredible. But it's like he does this bit where these fireworks are flying across the room. I'm like, oh, how the hell's he done that? Apparently, like he's put a firework in a
Minecart.
a minecart, and then he's launched it across an invisible rail or something.
No. The minecart was 10 feet, 10 blocks under the ground, but you like can displace how high the entity that's in the minecart is.
This is what I'm talking about.
So it's like we saw like this thing go. But what? How did that work? And it was just a minecart underneath the ground.
But this is
How
exactly.
I love that. I love that.
take
Like
to
that's
do?
but I think that's amazing. Like it. I love the hackiness of that. I would just add slightly
I do
more.
like that.
I would add slightly
Okay.
more stuff.
You're wrong.
You know?
All right, okay. Well,
You're wrong.
fine, hacky for everyone then. But the thing I'd add, but I'd love it. Like it's just such a pipe dream, but I'd love it. So if I made like a really complicated redstone thing that takes up 15 flipping chunks, right? Then you could just set up these blocks around it, like 4 corners, and then or 6 corners, obviously. Sorry, and then you would sides.
I thought, oh, a cube.
I'm so tired. Yeah, sorry. And then you could then condense it down into one block with like possible with a maximum of 6 outputs or inputs or mixture of those. So it would say like, well, here's like an RS latch, blah 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 blah. It's a toggle switch basically.
So you make it like a circuit block.
Yeah, basically, you make the circuit in redstone. You set up this
map
thing,
it out
yeah,
with like a
and then you click a button. You check a few boxes. You say, here's output 1, here's output 2, blah 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 blah, or input 1, input 2.
So it basically, so like the way Red Power is a little bit easy because it's like, oh, here's a RS NOR latch that's just a block.
Yeah.
It would allow you to add the functionality of having those complicated things in a block.
But you'd have to make it in original redstone.
But you'd have
first.
to engineer it.
Yeah. You'd make it in original redstone first. Basically, you say, I can do it. I just want it to be smaller.
You just want to be. You just want to feel smart, don't you? Just like
that would make more sense than the recipe for computer craft computers.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I just want computer craft computers in vanilla. Basically, is what I'm saying. I just don't want to have to program them.
Adding mods. Yeah. Okay, I think we'll make this the last couple of questions, and we'll cut it a little short.
Like 2 more.
Yeah.
Guy at the back.
Yeah.
Have you thought? Have you looked into playing vaults?
Vaults.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of mod packs out there.
Those guys have played vaults.
We've essentially created our own, but yeah, you
We play vaults.
Vaults.
Yeah, we play vaults very badly. We
Make a particle accelerator.
No, we're really slow. Like
We're building a factory.
Yeah, we're just faffing everything, just being very slow.
We're being very self-conscious about it as well.
Yeah, everyone comments about it. Oh, you did a lot this episode. Well done. So yeah, we've got as far as a generator and a battery, and I've been playing around with
That's like episode 20.
Yeah, we're well into double figures. No, but I've been playing around with the conveyor belts. I really want to get into it, but it's hard. I don't want to do things off camera. But it takes so long to do things on camera, you end up with 40-minute episodes that no one watches. So, yeah, I really like vaults. Have you seen the FTV one? I think we were talking about this.
The FTV version of Universal Electricity came out first, but it was all about volts because Yogscast did it.
What's the one?
So they renamed it Amps.
With a Z.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Amps. It's like that Yogscast did it. It's very much like that Simpsons thing, isn't it?
Yogscast did it.
Yogscast did it. Oh well.
But it's the other way around. Because Yogscast
The other way
did it
around.
second.
Don't matter.
Check it did it
Doesn't
second.
matter.
Don't matter.
Nobody cares about that. Nobody knew. Alright, we'll make this the last one. Thanks for your patience, guys, because this was very last minute.
Guy in the blue
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Out of all like the stuff that you've played, what are your favourite mods out of all of them?
Oh, I really enjoyed Clay Soldiers. I thought Clay Soldiers mod was awesome. There was so much to it, and it gave use to every single item that was in the game.
Minecraft RTS. That's what it was, wasn't it? Essentially, because it was like real-time strategy sort of stuff. You were basically like,
Yeah. But it was like there was a use for every item that was in the game that you could give the little guys, and be like, yeah, they did use of that, making shields for themselves and all that sort of thing. That was cool. That's probably one of my favourites.
Favorite mod. The Feed the Beast mod pack is incredible because it brings together lots of mods that really make sense together. But if I need to choose one, I really like the Soul Shards mod because it the spot, as I said, you know the way that we talk about how the community tends to like basically make things that hack the game and like so you can basically set up these spawners for various different things. That kind of gives that a feeling of legitimacy and a feeling of do you know it? Soul Shards.
Soul Shards mod.
Basically, what happens is you have any sword. When you kill a mob, you get its soul, and then with enough souls, you can craft yourself a spawner. And I think it's 1,024 souls of one particular mob to craft the highest. Who likes to engineer stuff? It gives that feeling of legitimacy to it. Like I really like the engineering aspect of Minecraft. The doing fun stuff with the blocks that and engineering it like that. So I think that's probably my favourite mod.
I think as much as I've enjoyed Tekkit and FTV and being able to play everything, if it were a single mod, it would be better than Wolves. It would, because...
we don't play.
Yeah, well, because he doesn't want it to interact with anything else. It works so well by itself. Or it did when I copied it. But it adds a tech tree that works and everything makes sense. It's not like forestry where you build a few blocks and then everything happens somehow.
Magic.
So yeah.
But the thing about forestry is that it's not magic. It calls itself engineering and science, but you put one block in the middle, and then all of a sudden it starts to plant trees and harvest them, and you're like, what, is it nanobots? Like, what's going on? Or like what they did with bees, like.
Bees make sense because it's bees. You can imagine them being too small to see.
I guess so, but
Yeah,
still
you
bees.
should put with bees, guy.
God, bees.
Should love bees.
Only this wasps.
Easily.
I really love Red Power. Like, I quite like computer craft, but anything you can do in computer craft, you can do with Red Power if you try hard enough. And in our videos, we really rip into LRM basically because of the shitty volcanoes. but I love her because like Red Power's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like it makes
so for you and people like you.
Just for me. Yeah.
But you know
I got in touch with her. I was like, LRM, can you sort me out?
Sort me out.
Yeah. But yeah, so.
Why do you like it so much?
I just like the thought like I want to make an incredibly complicated door. I want to.
The frames are amazing.
The frames are brilliant. The frames are like.
They're like Preston's just shit. We're gonna do your job 100 times better.
Although I do tend to just have a piston making a noise. You know?
Yeah.
But I don't like how silent they are. But yeah, it's like I think it sort of epitomises Minecraft, doesn't it? You'll see your front door and you'll be like, well, I don't want people walking in, do I? So there'll be a wooden door, and you're like, well, zombies knock on that, that's annoying. And I've fallen out with him, so I don't want him walking into my house, he might steal my diamonds, right? So you put an iron door in, and you say, well, he might just put a redstone torch on that and open it himself, right? He's going to steal my diamonds anyway. So then you're like, well, I'll do a piston door. And then you're like, why don't I do 2 piston doors? And then it ends up being this massive, like, cliff face that pulls away and then shoots anyone standing in the wrong place. And then there's an explosion, and then there's no diamonds there because you used them all anyway to make a door.
That was brilliant. That really could have gone a little bit further. Alright, thanks very much everybody for being so patient with us. This was very last minute, but thanks for turning up. So, here we go.